Everybody recording?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my phone
Yeah.
on
Podcast
there.
cameras, everything's
Virtual
good.
area.
Everybody has
Yeah.
their headphones plugged into the Zoom.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, everybody clap on go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh,
No, don't worry. That's just because of Zoom. That's just because of the delay of Zoom.
Okay.
Now,
Okay. Oh, that's perfect. Okay.
so now
Okay.
I leave. And
Oh,
I wish you all luck.
I mean, you don't have to leave. You can just mute.
You all
miss you,
seem like
Ton.
wonderful people, and I know this podcast will turn out amazing.
We can call out edits, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
call edits, and I'll put them in tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
So everybody,
Thank
good
you
luck.
so much.
Thank
Ton.
you.
We'll talk
Bye, guys.
soon.
Good luck with
Bye.
everything. You guys will do epically.
Thank you.
Poggers.
We should
Bye,
talk.
guys.
We should talk in Discord from now on because that's what Ton can contact us on instead of
Yeah.
Slack.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we record
Cool.
on Discord?
Okay. I think so. Yeah, we could.
Okay, we can do that
If
next
once
time.
our Zoom free minutes run out.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll move there. Okay. So,
Okay.
let's begin. Why did I clap again? Sorry. Okay. I guess we can start. Hello and welcome to the Impractical Study Guide. My name is Nini. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm a college freshman. And I'm here with...
My name is Kaylee. I'm 17. I'm from Orange County, California, and I'm an upcoming senior in high school.
Hi, my name's Cameron, and I'm 16, and I'm from the Portland metropolitan area, and I'm a rising junior in high school.
Hi, my name's Freya. I'm 17 from Washington, D.C., and I'm a rising senior in high school.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm 16. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I'm a rising junior in high school.
We also have Celine and Alex as part of our team, but they couldn't be here to record with us, so hopefully we will get a chance to meet them in a later episode.
Okay, so our podcast was prompted by an assignment from our Five founding member team, and we decided to come together and create a little study break and step away from studying to explore some of our own interests. So in our podcast, we're probably just going to be discussing hypothetical situations and anything that probably won't have a clear-cut answer. Kaylee, do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, so we kind of just wanted to show off our opinions about kind of like obscure and weird topics that we might not always get a chance to discuss in a school setting, and just have really fun conversations that allow us to open up on topics that might not be quote unquote school friendly, and maybe give us a break from what we're so used to with studying and answering like math problems and things like that.
Yeah. Good job. Good wording. So for today's topic, Kaylee's going to introduce that to us.
Okay, so our question for today, our hypothetical is, Ton, if you're editing, can you insert some kind of drum roll or thing to increase the suspense?
Wow.
If you could earn extra lives, how should you be able to earn them, and maybe what would you use them for?
Okay.
Wait, that was bad. Can I say that again?
Yeah,
Sorry.
do it again.
Okay, fine. This is what I was. Okay, so our question is, and then insert whatever. If you could earn extra lives, how should you be able to earn them, and maybe what would you use them for? That sounded literally the exact same. Sorry.
It's fine. It was really good.
Fine.
Okay. I guess I'll open up the discussion first. I took AP Psych. I know we're not supposed to be talking about school, but this was like one of the questions that we talked about. And I remember I had this long spiel about how we should be earning lives by saving lives. And I recently was like talking to somebody, and they were like, well, if you kill somebody, you should be able to get a life. And then I realized there's a lot of ways to answer this question. So I changed my opinion. And so now I think that if you were to earn an extra life, you should be only using it to save people or to use it for good. And you should like spend your time either changing mistakes that you've made in a previous life, or just be able to like at least fix or like try to be a better person. Or like that's what I would try to do if I had an extra life. Or I would give it away to somebody that really needed it, I think.
Okay, well, my initial thought was like, if you could earn an extra life, that you should like be like, my first thought was like, you should kill someone, which is like super dark. But I was thinking like wouldn't it make sense to like, if like someone dies, you can have their life, but then people would just go around killing people for extra lives? So like ethically, that's not like a probable answer, but I like that was my initial thought, which sounds really messed up. But I know I'm not like the first person to say that their first thought was to kill someone in order to take.
I feel like there'd just be like massacres like every day.
Like, yeah, it would literally be the purge.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think that also brings up like the question of like, should you have a maximum number of lives that you can get? Because if not, I think we're gonna have some overpopulation problems.
Oh yeah. I feel
That's
like
true.
I don't know. I feel like it would be corrupt.
If you die, can you use your extra life to like? Do you come back at the same age, or do you get like reborn again?
Yeah, that's the question that like also comes with it. Like, do you like get reincarnated, or you just stay alive for that one life? Like, would you be immortal?
Because
a lot of people.
Like, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go.
For like what I wrote down was I thought that it would be cool that we could kind of like be reborn as ourselves again if like one of our relatives died. Like my whole thing about it is that like what if it was an option that every like relative that you were close to or you like impacted when they died, they essentially gave you an extra life to like be yourself, so you just like start over by yourself. But like if you impacted like a friend or someone who's not a relative, you get reincarnated into someone else. This is not based on any like I'd never took psych, but this is just like something cool that like I thought could happen. I don't know.
So if one of your family members died, they could choose like, you can take my life, I will give it to you, and then you get reborn as yourself in like once you die. So you can live out your life. You live out your life, and like, so say like someone you love dies when you're 16, and then you live out your life, and then they're like, I gave you my life, so when you die naturally of old age, you come back as you're 16.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wait, so what happens if like more than one person gives you like hello? What happens if more than one person gives you?
Does it just happen like three different times?
You have them in stock, I think. Like you
just
keep
like it's like in your brain.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, like Mario, like where you like
yeah.
You see them again.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah.
Wait, but if you were reborn,
you go ahead, Cameron. You got it.
Okay. But if you were like reborn, would you remember your like previous life? Like you're a baby, but you remember what it was like to be like 50?
That's what I think.
Wouldn't that be painful?
Yeah, but I feel like if someone had an extra life, they just use it to like restart. Like a lot of people that I asked, they were just like, oh, I would just use it to live a different life every time and stuff like that, to like have a different career, have a different pathway and stuff like that. I feel like I would do the same. Like I wouldn't want the same knowledge. Like I would rather live life again and like live it a different way, I guess. But then again, would you even know if you're living in a different way? Because like
what if you get reborn again and your goals just happen to be the same? And would everyone else remember you for the same person, or would they just like when you die, their memory somehow automatically gets wiped and they don't know who you are?
Or I feel like you would come back as a new person, like entirely.
Like new family, new location.
Yeah, like new family. Yeah. So you wouldn't like reincarnation, I think.
Yeah. Would you be aware that you had extra lives once you get reborn? If you say you did earn your extra life and you got reborn again?
I think at a certain age they would like the government would tell you, or like somebody would tell you. Like I don't know, but like I just don't know how people would like keep track of it. Like is it like I don't know.
Because I'd be so down for that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how it would work. It's like I don't know if it would be like a
It was like a birthmark thing. That's it.
But then wouldn't you just spend your entire life after you're reborn like figuring out how you died in the last life, and you die again and you wake up, you're like, I don't know, I'm this whole new person. I have to like.
But you'd be like a baby, so like you wouldn't know that you were like reborn. You know what I mean?
So when you are reborn, you're not aware that you had a life in the past.
Yeah. Like, I think it just
But
be
but
like,
you are aware that you can get extra lives.
yeah, but you just wouldn't know.
Let's cycle back to like, how would you get the extra lives?
I think
Besides killing people, which I think is obviously like the ethically wrong answer, but like probable.
well,
But-
I got a response from one of my friends. I know I've been talking about my friends this whole time, but one of them said that if you like influence somebody greatly or like in a beneficial way, like that you affected someone positively, then you can earn an extra life. Like if you were a teacher or something and you inspired a kid to like have a career or passion that they've wanted to do, like then you can earn extra life by benefiting somebody or like helping them make a life change and stuff like that.
But what's like the magnitude to how strongly you have to make an impact? Because I know a lot of people that I talked to also, or like that I asked, also said that you would have to save someone's life, and that's like the only thing that would constitute as something great enough for you to get an extra life.
Yeah, I think that would be hard, but I think that's like also the point of like getting an extra life should be hard to get. So when you save somebody, you earn an extra life, but then like if you save somebody like by killing yourself or like by like sacrificing yourself or something like that, it's like you don't really gain a life. You're just like keeping the one that you've already had, but just like getting it back in return for sacrificing yourself or something like that.
What if people could like give you their lives? So like, let's say you're dying and then you sign a little paper and your mom's like, "Oh, you can have my life."
Then yeah, that'd be different, right? But I like when you think about that, it's like how would it work? Like how does it?
I think honestly, if in a world where this could happen, I think you should only be able to give life to people who are dying.
Yeah, like ideally
Like-
that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you were to just have a life and you could just keep on like standing at the same street corner and pushing people away from a car and like just have all these lives and just like give them to people, like give them to your friends as if they were like chocolates. But that would just like create too much unorganized chaos.
Yeah, I feel like, because then I feel like people would just be trading off for like fun and stuff, and like when someone really needed it, they'd be like, "Oh my god, I just gave a life away to blah blah blah," and they wouldn't be able to get theirs in time. So it's also like I'd also ask the question like, can you give it to someone after they die? Like if you were to be able to like rebirth someone, because that could also cause complications if you were like let's say you wanted to bring somebody back, like a relative or something, and you'd be like, here's a life, and they come back to life. But it's also like if there was someone bad that died.
But if they came back to life, would they be the same person, or would they be reborn again as a different person like we talked about?
Oh, that's true. I don't know. See, the whole thing about like what happens after you get an extra life is like confusing. It's like what happens if you do get an extra life? Like how would that play? I don't know.
I feel like if someone was dead, like already dead, then you could give them a life and they would have to be reborn as a new person. It only seems fair. But if someone like was diagnosed with some kind of life-threatening disease and the doctor said you only have 30 days to live, then you could say, okay, I would give you my extra life and you could live longer. Because then they would be able to like live out their life.
I agree. I don't know. It's very I feel like it's very open to like a lot of people would just like either choose to live a new life just because they want to try something new. But then again, I don't know. It's still like, to me, it's like, how would you know that you're doing anything different if you don't know that you're living a new life?
It's like it's like right now, except like with all the extra lives things, like how do you know that you're not just reincarnated right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it's also
we wouldn't. But I think in this situation, you would know that you could earn an extra life.
But then how would you know that you're in the extra life? You know what I mean? It's like if you were
that's just like a cycle. How do you know where that cycle went?
Yeah, you know, like we could be living an extra life right now. Like this could be our extra life right now, and we wouldn't know. Like,
whoa, that's true.
Yeah.
We know that when we die, there's nothing
yeah, we don't.
We also know that
we don't know.
Scientifically, we don't know what happens after what happens after we die.
Yeah.
But if we were in this world where we knew if I save someone, then if I genuinely save someone out of like the goodness of my own heart, then
I feel like
I could gain an extra life.
I feel like you should know how many lives that you've already gotten. You know what I mean? Like you should be able to know like if you
like a little. Should other people be able to see it? Like a little status bar over their
no,
head?
not like
you know,
anybody. I don't think anybody should know because they might try to like I don't know, but I think it's nice if we knew how. It's kind of like everyone's talking about like how the good place where it's like a point system, right? Where like if you have enough points, you can go to the good place or you can go to the bad place. But it's like if you have enough points, you can get an extra life. But it's also like if you knew how many points you got at the end of your life to earn extra life, then shouldn't you like I feel like you should know how many total points you've gotten to have extra lives. That way you can be like, oh, I have been a good person before, stuff like that, or just like how like I know how much of a Samaritan you were.
Oh, like in your new life.
Yeah.
Like know how good of a person you were in your past life.
Yeah, but like at a certain
so
age,
you just
so
build
it doesn't
like
like freak you out, you know?
So you just build like a society of perfect people. Like you just have this like everyone knows that they were such a good person in the past. That's why they're living again. So they'd be a better person and they live again and again.
Oh
again.
yeah, that'd be kind of yeah, that's true.
But also,
and then you have no one to like save. All the people you save are just like accidents. People who die are just like either natural cause or was like an accident.
Yeah.
And also, I think like if you get to an age where you know your points, like if you know your points in your current life, that might give you an excuse to be like, hey, I have a lot of good points. Let me do some bad stuff. It's not gonna affect me that much because
that's true. But a lot of people like that I like had to respond to me. They're just like, well, I should be able to live a life like that. Like if I had an extra life, then I should live one bad life at least. And then I was like,
see,
but then
that's why. What if you killed people for your extra life?
No.
But what? Okay, let's put it this way though. Obviously, like murder is bad, and like we don't want serial killers walking around getting as many extra lives as they can.
Yeah.
But what if the only way to save someone you love was to give them an extra life, and you had to do that by killing someone? What if a good person like?
I think it's
really wanted to.
I think it's the reason why you have to kill somebody. Like if you had like a serial killer that were just killing people just to kill people, then that should be different. But if the killer had like a genuine reason and they weren't psycho, then I mean I feel like it would be understood. But it's also like if you have people like if Jeffrey Dahmer was it's like as he killed like it's like when he shouldn't be like getting an extra life. Like he should just be like, no, you're dead. Like you don't get that because his reason
and I think
bad.
I think like the notion with killing people to get lives is obviously that everyone's going to turn out to be a serial killer, but like I feel like to take that like hit out of your moral compass to like actually hold like the gun to your hand or whatever, like hold a knife, then that would constitute like you have to decide if the person you're giving this life to is worth that sacrifice for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's a good point because I don't think there are people that would probably kill just to kill, but then it's also like if you should be killing out of like good reasoning and not just to like get something for yourself.
And that goes back to like the whole merit compassing is like when you like there's some kind of like figure in like the sky or whatever that chooses whether or not your actions are good or bad.
Yeah.
And it's that like they award you with the ability to save someone if you killed someone. But at the same time, you could also save someone to like save someone too. But then
I feel like it's either there's either a really bad response to this or there's a really good response to this. But both of them are just like it's really unclear. Like everything is unclear. Like I feel like there's no like. But that's the thing about these questions. Like there's no correct answer because it's too confusing to approach.
It's hard to put into terms.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone like because you know everyone like their goal is to try and be a good person, so automatically your response is gonna think you're gonna think, how can I do something good to get a life? But when you think about it, like being good shouldn't it just come out of your own heart? There shouldn't be like an incentive to be a good person.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
if you're walking down the street and you see that there's a car about to hit a person and they're gonna walk into that same street, then would like, and you said, and you yelled stop. You did that because you didn't want that person to get hit by a car.
Yeah.
You didn't do it because you were like, oh,
I get a
an
life
extra
from this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately with the whole thing of like being a good person gives you an extra life, just builds greed. It's like too much of a good thing. So I think that's why I thought about the first thing you should do is to kill someone to get a life, because you can stop awarding people for doing bad things, but you can't stop awarding people for doing good things, because then it like takes away. That doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Like if you keep on giving people incentives for doing good things, then for a lot of people that motivation to be a good person won't be genuine.
Yeah, I think
If you sorry, keep going.
no, I just think that like when you mentioned it at the beginning of the conversation, I think all of us were like, oh, that's a lot, like killing someone for an extra life. But like it does totally make sense in terms of like it needs to be something. I think it really needs to be something that you have to sacrifice in order to get. Like I think taking that step to get that extra life is like what Kaylee suggested is a really big step. And I think if we make it too easy for us to get a new life, like I think it will just become like desensitized to it. And as Kaylee said, like we would do good things just for the incentive rather than out of our own hearts.
Yeah.
And I think like obviously it sounds really drastic at first, but I think it's like the best way to keep everything balanced, if you know what I mean.
So can you like get an extra life for yourself by killing someone, or only for someone else who's dying?
I'm not sure. Wait,
That's
Kaylee,
a good point. That's a good point.
I think that like everyone that like wants an extra life just wants to live longer. Like they don't necessarily want to restart. Like some people want to restart and some people just want to live a longer life. So it's also like, can you choose what to do with it if you do get the chance to have an extra life? Like, do you get to live longer, or do you just get to restart? Like,
I feel like the decision is too powerful for yourself to decide.
Yeah. Like
So
I
let's
feel
say
like
you live.
no, I
Go
know.
ahead.
I just feel like I don't know. It's really confusing. Like if like personally, I would just choose to live longer, but then there are other people that are just like they would just want to restart without like remembering anything. Like I don't know if I could like redo life. I don't know.
I think I'd want to restart because like at some point like you're just not gonna like it.
I don't want to
know.
live until I'm 100 and just like expire one
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
You're like, oh,
Like,
I used up all my lives, and now I'm like forever immortal, like in myself.
Yeah, it's like not. There has to be a point where you just like are immobile and like can't really do anything.
Or you could just like choose an age to stay at.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I
max.
think I'd rather do that. Like just choose an age to just stay at.
Yeah.
Or like a decade.
I just want to be a dancing queen forever.
Yeah,
Like,
17. Yeah.
So let's say you restart. Like, how would you even, as a baby, how would you even know you're doing anything differently? Because you don't remember your past life.
Exactly. That's why
You
I feel
could be
like
doing exactly the
sometimes it won't
same.
be worth it. Like I feel like it won't be worth it because like if you don't know what you want to change differently, then how would you go about doing it?
but if you're reborn and you're this completely new person that you don't know, like you don't know that you're doing anything different, you still know that you're gaining lives, right? You still know that you can have them. So wouldn't you? Okay, I don't know where I was going with that. I actually just forget what I said.
I feel like you would question it. Like I feel like I would question it. Like if someone told me, "Oh, hey, you know, like we can get extra lives." Like I feel like, "Oh, really?" Like how do I know that right now I'm not living an extra life, you know? I feel like you just be questioning yourself the whole time and being like, "Am I in one? Like is this one?" And just not really like paying attention to your life, but just paying attention to like, "Oh, am I doing things correctly enough to be able to do this over again?"
Yeah, I think my whole thing was when we first started talking about this was I would if I were to be myself again, if that makes any sense, I would do everything that I regretted not doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I think if you are kind of reborn as yourself again or like as someone else and you're in a different environment, I think like nature versus nurture comes into play here because like you could, like Cameron said, like you don't know if you would actually change at all. Like, you don't know if you would have like the same personality or like live in the same place and stuff like that. But I think there's always circumstances in life where like it will cause you to change in one way or another. And so I don't think it's like probable for you to live the same or the similar lives to what you had lived before. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like everything is constantly changing, and like with time even more things change. So like there could be like a 50-year gap in between your first life and your second life, and like there's so many more things that you can do.
That is
So
That's true. See, in my
Yeah.
head, I was thinking like if you were able to relive your life like over again in the same time zone, and you be your same person, like you could just write a letter to your past self and send it to where you know you would be. But it's also like if there is a gap, then it's like it's redundant.
If you sent a letter to your past self and you're waking up as a new person and you get this letter, you're like, who is this person? Why are they claiming they were me? And I think presumably if you know you could get extra lives, you would wake up knowing that you're in another life.
Yeah.
And that you just want to do, like, you just want to live it out. But you wouldn't, and you had this letter from a person that was like, hey, if I was this person before, you should do this, you should do that. Like, you have to continue my mission.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know. You would just be like, okay, this is a stranger. Like, this is crazy. I just want to, I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah. I feel like, okay, if this was me, right, and we got the chance to just redo our whole life again, I'd send myself a letter, but be like, here's what I've done, and here's what I've learned. Do what you want with it. And I could be like, oh, okay, then I just want to do this, this, and this. And then just hopefully it'll make myself seem like a better person. But it's also like, it depends on like when the letter's being sent. Like if I had a letter sent to me in the 6th grade, I'd be like, I'm going to throw this away. But if I had it sent to me now, I'd be like, okay, that's good advice or stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like I'd want a little bit of insight of like who I used to be, but I don't want like everything. You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't know if I would want like advice, because I think you learn the best through experiences. Obviously, like living through those experiences would like suck, but I mean, some advice would be nice, but I think it's beneficial to also live through it.
What if like on a completely
go ahead.
Okay, like what if on a completely different tangent, everyone in the world started with like, let's say 3 lives, and you could choose what you wanted to do with those lives? Like you could give them away to someone who's dying, or you could get them taken away if you like commit crimes or something, which would be interesting.
I think
so. You're saying I would wake up in the morning and like see 3 little hearts above my head, and then be like, okay,
nice.
So this is what we have to do today.
I feel like I'd see if there's anybody in need and then try to save them first, and then if there's something going on in my life, I would just keep them there unless I really wanted to just restart everything. I don't know, but I feel like
be able to see your 3 lives. So
yeah, that's why I think like I feel like it'd look corrupt too if like you were able to see how many lives someone got or like how many they've given away. I feel like it just like get to a point where it'd just be a corrupt system. And like I don't know, I feel like somebody would be smart enough to like hack into the like people's brains and like give each other lives for free and stuff.
It's all a simulation.
Everything's a simulation at this point. Like
honestly, like if you think about it, stuff like, okay, not stuff like that, but like there have been so many things in our society that has promised us like new life, in terms of like when like even like anti-aging things, like everyone just wants to look like what they did like 10-20 years ago now, right? And so there's this whole like market on basically like immortality, in terms of like you want to stay as immortal as possible until you die.
Like fountain
so
of youth
like
and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And so like what Nini said, stuff like that will definitely happen probably in the circumstance, because it's already happening now.
Literally even right now there's like a corrupt, I'm not even gonna talk about it because this episode's not about that, but I mean even right now like there's so many people like fighting for immortality by doing like terrible things, and it's like there should be an end to, I mean, if you know that something is wrong, like morally wrong, like, and you notice that, like, it should be said, like, hey, that's not what you should be doing, and then that privilege should be taken away from you, like, forever. Like, you shouldn't be able to gain it back. I don't know. I feel like everything would just end up being corrupt. Like, everything just gets corrupt at the end anyways.
Also,
I mean,
like,
if I had it, oh, sorry, go ahead, Jason.
oh, go ahead.
No, you talk. I've been talking nonstop, so it's all you.
I was gonna say, like, also, like, it's gonna be like hard to define like what is really really good, because like, have you ever seen that meme with like guy with the train, like the handle, people like on the train tracks?
Yeah.
Oh, the trolley problem?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother episode.
Like some people, like, I don't want to get like political or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say my stance, but like some people think like the funding Planned Parenthood is for the good,
Mm-hmm.
and some people think that funding is for the good. So things like that, like it's harder to find like what good is and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like it is hard to define things because, you know, like once everything does get political, it does get corrupt, and it does get hard to define correctly of what is good and what is not good, and like what can be justified as like an act worth saving or like worth et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think to expand on that, I think there's a lot of things that society might deem as good society, but like we, whoever is like configuring our numbers or our merit points, we don't like it really depends. Like you could be doing something thinking that you're doing good, but you lose points. Like it's really relative in that sense. So even if like this point system were to happen, like you would need to figure out like what you have to do right to get points, and like what is like obviously like murder bad. Like the most obvious things are bad, but like some people argue that like giving money to a homeless person isn't as valuable as like giving them a job opportunity or something like that. So yeah, I don't know, I think it's really relative.
Okay. As we hit our 30-minute mark, does anyone have any closing statements that they want to say? Final words?
I don't know. I think we went pretty full circle. We went from do good to do bad to like
Maybe
extra
this is
lives
all
and corrupt
bad.
politics and all that.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's theoretical, and I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like if these were actual problems, that it'd be much harder to like find a solution or like what is ethical or not. Yeah, I think it's.
I mean, I think ultimately there's so many sides on what is good that it's so much easier, which is sad, but it's so much easier to define what a bad action is instead of
what a good action
Yeah,
is.
definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's
Which
so
is-
much easier to define
so
like
sad.
I'm sacrificing something than I'm doing something good at my own extent. You know what? Scratch that. It's so much easier. It's so much easier to define if you're doing something bad than it is to do something good. So when it comes back to our original question, like how should you gain an extra life? I think it's so much harder to say do a good action than to just say you have to make some kind of really grand sacrifice for yourself in order to get gain that extra life.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I think that concludes our episode for today. Okay. Hey, we're done here. Thank you. Okay. So my recording cut out like 5 minutes ago, and I didn't freaking realize it. So, okay.
Should we? For the record, Ton, if you're listening to this, Mimi's recording cut out about 5 minutes ago, and she didn't realize.
Yeah, I hope he figures that out.
Anyways, if anything, you said the outro. Should we say another outro?
Oh no, my outro was recorded, but it was like the 5 minutes before my outro. I wasn't recording.
Okay.
Ooh. So
well, I didn't know the word.
Does he want us to?
Wait, are we done? Can we stop recording?
Oh yeah, sorry. Stop recording.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, oops.
Wait.
Okay. Does he want us to? How does he want us to share it? Like,
That
do
is
you
a
want
good
to?
question. Let me text him. Let
Yeah,
me
'cause
text him.
we can
You
text
can just
him.
put it in the drive folder for right now. And then
Oh yeah, we can, and you can just give him access to the drive.
Oh, that is perfect. I will
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Should we? Should we? Let's if it comes to like filming and stuff and editing,
Mhm.
let's move our conversations to
The
Discord
Discord. Yeah.
because we can't invite them to Slack.
Yeah, I love
But
Discord.
that
Yeah.
that's like legal. That's legal, right? Amanda won't get mad at us.
No.
No.
I don't even.
Okay,
I don't even think she'd
No.
care.
in
So
the beginning, someone was like, "Let's start a Discord," and she was like, "No, keep the conversations here." And I was like, "Oh."
no, we're gonna make a Discord, anyways.
Yeah.
Do we want to keep our podcast days on Fridays? Like, are you guys okay with doing this on Fridays?
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so
We can do on
I
Friday,
can-
upload Saturday or Sunday.
okay, do you want to? Okay, see, here's the thing. Like, if this ends up like being like a thing like this, do we want to send uploads on Saturday or Sunday, or do we want to record earlier and then upload it on Fridays?
I think. I mean, okay. Let's do before we think about what day. Are we doing one recording per week, two recordings per week, or what? One or two? I think we can manage.
I
I think we can manage two.
I think we can do two. Honestly,
Honestly.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think we can manage two too, because like I think we should just do two until we like really get busy.
Get
because
into
right now
it,
it's summer.
yeah.
Who like I'm sure not a lot of us are like, especially with quarantine, we're not
Mhm.
like
Doing anything.
going out and going to school.
Yeah.
So I think we can manage two, and in that case, why don't we film on Tuesday, upload Wednesday, film on Friday, upload Saturday,
Okay.
or upload Saturday or / Sunday.
So
That's like
upload.
a what, like a two?
Editing though for Tant.
I can pay
Sure.
him. I don't mind paying him. I honestly don't mind.
He won't take money, dude. He's that person. He won't take
Anyway,
money. Literally.
I don't mind paying
but-
him.
But Alex, we have editors Ton, Freya, and Alex, right?
Yeah, and then Freya can help
So-
too.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so and honestly, what I think we could do if I could like if we don't want to keep on using Ton because I feel bad too.
Yeah. Yeah. He's so nice.
I know
Mhm.
that you can ask him for like